Hello everybody, Todd here again from PGWorld. Today we're going to install an O77 Springfree, which is your 8x11 Springfree. And I'm going to show you how I do it, and it's pretty quick. I've installed over 700 Springfree trampolines. I've learned a little bit along the way. So I will talk to you as fast as I can and walk you through this. So first thing is unboxing and laying out the frame. There's really two ways to do this. One is you can lay out the frame as I did, where the leg holes are facing up. To me, it's a little faster to put all the legs on because they're not under load as I'm hand tightening all these bolts, versus building the frame where you're picking the frame up and bringing the legs up underneath of it is the alternative method when you're doing it. So as long as you're in a clean environment, a clean grass, not too muddy, too wet, it's definitely a faster way to do it. Also, a couple things with the legs, as you'll see. Yellow dot are going to be the legs on the side, and the yellow dot is always facing outward. On the ends, you're going to see it's a curved leg, little offset, so it's going to go at both the ends. It's an orange dot, and again, the orange dot's face to the outside. The frame comes together as a standard male-female overlap. There is a bolt hole for the main frame. That's the large bolts. And then there's also leg bolts. We also always like to put the nut on the inside and the Allen key end on the outside. I like to lay it all out so I'm not constantly going back and forth to boxes. And also I put all my nuts and bolts from the package, I just dump them in the top of this is the box from the mat. Just put that in the center, so I'm never more than a couple of feet away from that. I lay out my net poles, I lay out my rods. So again, I'm trying to be as efficient as possible as I'm unboxing. So it is approximately 20 after 3 here right now, so here we go. So again, we're just hand tightening these first time around. Hand tightening all the nuts. Here we go. There's going to be 6 of these. They are nylon nuts. Alright, so now we have the frame hand tightened together. We're going to start with the legs. Again, the dot side goes outward. Yellow dot out. Center rod in. Lay your legs. Again, this way the tramp's not carrying a load, so it's a little bit easier, I believe, to get your leg bolts on. Again, we're just finger tightening these as right now. Sometimes, if you need to put a little pressure on this over top of it, I can actually just kind of sit on the leg, and that'll help as well. Here's an example. Tight. Again, I'm trying to be as efficient as possible with my movements, having everything laid out ahead of time. I even know that I'm always going to get 6 leg bolts out of the box, so I don't have to go back more than twice. Sorry about that. There are drip holes built into the frame, so it doesn't collect moisture. There's an example where I can sit on the frame, help get the leg in the right spot. Last one, orange dot to the outside. Actually, one more, sorry. Now, last one. That's part one. Now we're going to flip it. You can flip it, any one person, usually an 8x11 or 8x13. We can definitely flip it over the top. So for me, it's pretty easy. Tools come with a hex key and another wrench. To go a little faster, we use an impact hammer. The large bolts are going to be 3/4 inch. The leg bolts are 1/2 inch. Don't over tighten them. Just nice and slow. That's the big bolts. Again, nuts are eyes to the inside. Leg bolts. Again, just a short burst, don't over tighten. Ready for the net. So Springfree is really cool. They have color coordinated components on the frame. You're going to see green dots and blue dots. So the green dots helps you orient the map to the frame. So here's a green tab on the map, and this is going to be the zipper, whatever side you want the zipper to be on. It's going to be on one of the two long sides. So we're going to go over here. And the key is, there's a green dot on the frame. First mat rod goes through this hole and into the green dot. That way the net is oriented to the frame. Once you get the rod in, the net is now secured, it's not going to slide around. We're just going to walk this around. I like to go counterclockwise as I go, because that's going to snug that net up against that rod. All the way around. Next part is we're just going to start feeding rods into the net. And there is, all the way around, as you see, there are holes in the net. That's where each rod goes through. Make sure you do not skip a hole or skip a rod, or you'll wind up with an extra rod or an open hole, and then you have to bring them out and start all over again. I like to go clockwise as I do this. I will grab about 1/4 of the rods, take 3 or 4 in my hand, put the other in my leg, and and start working my way around. I like to spread my rods out so I'm not constantly going back to the spot to pick them up. A lot of times I'll lay them out on the ground in little bundles of 4, and I know about where I'm going to end, basically 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, even bundles. Again, it's all about saving time and steps. It took me a while to manage more than one rod in my hand at a time. A little dexterity definitely helps with time. Again, I think the first one I did took me about 3 hours. Now my son likes to put these under his arm versus his leg, but I just found that this is the best way for me. And no extra rods, no extra holes. So here comes the part that you guys paid us for. It's putting the mat on. So the key with the mat is there's these blue tabs. So this is an oval mat. So you want to make sure you have the long side and the long side. And there are going to be 6 of these blue tabs on the mat. And there are 6 blue dots on the frame. Match the blue dots to the blue tabs and you'll be fine. You always want to do all the blue tabs first as you go around. And you've got equal pressure all the way around. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they just start at one and they start adding the rods. And there's so much tension on these rods that by the time you get to the opposite side, the mat is 3 feet away and you're never going to get it on. So keeping even pressure, do all the blue tabs first, then I go back and do like every 3rd one, or I'll skip 2, do 2 as I go around to keep even pressure, and then I finish by doing all of the rest of them. So here's my blue tab, blue dot. We'll start right here. And again, key to max, once you get tension, it's elbow inside, palm up. You're using your body weight as you rock that underneath that ball and socket joint. And you always want to make sure that you feel it lock in before you let up pressure, or that rod's gonna come back like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball and hit you. You'll always remember that. A little more challenging doing on this floor is it's so slippery versus doing a yard. So there's a tendency to slide away from you while you're trying to see the rods. more blue dots on now, so I'm going to go like skip a few, do a few, to continue that even pressure. And I just slide my thumb, 1, 2, I'm counting the clamps and counting the rods. That way I'm always putting the rod with the right clamp. Skip a few. Now I make that look really easy. Took me 7 years to get this perfected. This is where almost every self-installer raises the white flag and calls us, which is fine, we're happy to help. Sliding away from me. Whew. Hang on. Like I said, a little tougher on this floor because everything needs to slide under back pressure. And actually, if you're doing it with a partner, it's cooler. You guys are working on opposite sides, and you won't get that sliding effect. That's all the rods. That was the hardest part. Honestly, I make that look really easy, but most people, it's a big struggle. It took me a long time to be like that. So now we're just going to pull the net up. Be careful not to get hung up on the net post holders. You don't want to tear your net. Just feed it along. Net pull rods. Again, as you feed them in, the sleeve will slide over and makes it a solid pull. There are sleeves at the top, right here. You want to feed the pole through the 2 slots like that. Push it up, and you'll feel a little click. Like it's come home, and you're good on that. All right. See, by laying things out and laying everything up on the mat, you're not constantly running back to boxes, grabbing stuff. Actually, the unboxing process and laying stuff out is one of the keys to efficiency on installs. And if your time is important, which it is for everybody, or if you're getting paid by the job, even better. So there are days that we might be able to, even with drive time, we might do 5 or 6 installs in one day. Professionally installed by PGWorld. Let us do all this for you, honestly, but if you're curious, this is how it's all done. All right, all the net posts are in. So now we're just going to walk around and put them in the net post holder. I always like to start left of the zipper, sanity-wise, so I take the post that's left of the zipper. walk around, let the net right up, a little tug. All right. So there you go. There's your O77 8x11 Springfree installation. Don't forget to record your serial numbers of your mat, your frame, and your net for warranty. It does have a 10-year warranty. Rarely need to use it, but it's great to have it. Todd here at Avon Playground World. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Oh, and I forgot. It is 3:40, so that was 20 minutes.